Today, I am beginning to embark on a journey. And now you might be like, Jana, you seem to embark on journeys often. Yes, I do. And that's it. Okay, wait, so that's how we're starting. But I'm going to start reading the For the Game series by Nora Sakavic. Literally all I know about this is lacrosse and gay boys, but then someone told me it's not about lacrosse. But I keep seeing lacrosse rackets in like fan art. So if it's not lacrosse, it's lacrosse adjacent. And to me, you're never going to convince me that's not the same thing. I've been told that this gets wild and is like a little intense, maybe some red flags here and there, potentially a little problematic. That's not a deterrent for me. We're gonna go forward. I'm gonna start reading, and we're starting obviously with the first book, which is The Foxhole Court. And yeah, let's just dive in. I did see it's only 270 pages, so maybe I can finish this today. Oh, hello. It is I, Jana. We're here. So I'm about like 75 pages into the Foxhole Court, the first one. So far, like, I'm not immediately loving. I'm just kind of like along for the ride. So far, all we know is that this boy, he is 19, but for some reason is lying about his age, his name, has dyed his hair, and is like hiding his identity from his father for some reason. You find out that his like mother's dead. So all this drama with this guy. And they're playing this sport called like Xe, which my brain's gonna make into lacrosse. So he gets like recruited for this college team that actually has a guy that he knows from his childhood, but obviously he changed his identity, he changed his hair. He's like, hopefully this guy doesn't recognize me, and maybe this is the best place for me to be, because why would they think I'd be with someone like that I knew, I guess? I don't know. He's hiding, there's lots of secrets, and he gets put on this team with all of these angsty boys. And what could possibly happen? There's definitely some red flag behavior if you are sensitive to some of the guys that make kind of predatory comments about like trying to get at this boy. There's one guy who like sexualizes him, and then there's another guy that's just like on drugs, and they kind of casually throw around like just like not great things about mental illness. Like that doesn't necessarily bother me. Like I get that's like just supposed to be edgy boy behavior because they're not real. They are fictional boys. So I will let them act that way. So far, we've just like met the boys. Like, everyone like has shit going on. Like, okay, like what's your trauma? Like every boy, I'm like, okay. So he is like, one guy on the team is like really good, but he's like a drug addict and he doesn't care about the sport unless like he gets his drugs. And then there's another guy that's really good and like makes everyone practice all the time and is like hard on everybody. Oh, and the main guy, Neil, he's like living with the coach, but he's like afraid of older men because of his father. And so there's a lot of drama going on. I'm already 75 pages into this, and this is only 270 pages. So only 200 pages to go. We also just found out that the coach has like trauma too. All of these boys have like tragic backstories. We just found out that they're gonna have to face off against the team that's actually good, because they were like on a team that's not good, because one of the guys who's on the team, the one who like knows Neil from his past, used to be on the good team, and now he's on this team, so they're the underdogs. Love it. Can't wait to see where this is going. Something about murder just got mentioned. Is there gonna be murder in this? Is this like mafia lacrosse? Because the other guy, I didn't even mention this, the other guy from the other team that was like the guy who was on the really good team, the reason he left was because a guy broke his hand. And I was just like, okay, so intense sporting stuff. And now they're saying the guy who broke his hand is connected in the family, or their family's business is murder. 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 I'm sorry, we're finding out that they're like connected to the Yakuza. What are my friends making me read? Like, what is happening? Jesus Christ. So I am 50% of the way through now, and wow. Well, one, it's now turning into like a Yakuza soap opera. Like, that's what's going on now. Now, for some reason, I thought everyone was just gonna have like tragic daddy and mommy stories, but I guess this is all like connected to the mafia now. Neil, the main guy, his dad was somehow connected to this, and the sports aspect is also connected to the mafia. Like, like I couldn't make this up. Nora was on her shit. Like, she, one of a kind. What am I doing? Okay. None of this is getting any better. Oh my god. Okay. So I finished book 1. There we go. Now I just seem like I have some volume. Let's get a cat in here. Okay. Okay. So I finished book 1. I enjoyed it. I had fun, but I just like haven't connected yet. Their cat is behind me. Disregard. Do you see this? She's like, ma'am. Gizmo? Anyway, so I finished it. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I just like haven't totally connected to the characters yet, but book 2 has already made me be like, oh, these are my trauma boys. So maybe we're connecting. Funny, because you'll be reading it and then it'll like, this isn't something that actually happens, but it'll just like casually be like, and his whole family was dead in the fire. But then go on to like the characters, like internal monologues just starts being about this sport. Someone on the team dies at the end of book 1. By the way, this is so full of spoilers. I'm gonna have to mark it. But someone dies at the end of book 1, like someone on the team, right? And then at the beginning of book 2, everyone's like, we don't want to say it, but like the team's better without him. Like, now that he's gone, we're actually like, we're good. It's funny because like his girlfriend's on the team because I guess this is like a team that both boys and girls can play on the team together. She like shows up for this game and everyone's like, why'd she show up for this game? She shouldn't be here, you know? Obviously upset. The internal monologue of the players, like, we'd be better without her. Like, she's too distracted. Yeah, because her boyfriend just died. Okay, do you want down? Okay. And so there's just like there's a lot of that. So you'll be reading and it'll almost read like, you know, a silly goofy sports romance, but then it's like, oh, by the way, here's this trauma. There's these twin boys that are on the team, and you find out that the mom put one of them up for adoption, and that's why one of them is kind of a little effed in the head. Because they've only actually known each other for 3 years, like the twin boys. So they're identical twins, and I guess they just like don't really have a relationship. They're just there together. And also, like, the coach, like, every time they mention the coach and, like, why so many people on this team are messed up, they're like, the coach on purpose picked misfits. Why? Like, who let him do this? Like, he was like, let me put my little fucked up gang together. Like, now I'm like, what's his issue? I'm like, is this a kink thing? Like, I don't know. There's just like too much going on. You can tell I'm like having a good time. I'm not struggling. I'm not upset. I'm just like, oh, How interesting. We will keep going. I'm only about 50 pages into book 2. I am feeling very drawn to it, so I'm gonna keep going. They're about to play that, it's called, like, I feel like the sport is called Exy, but it feels weird for me to say that because it sounds like I'm like talking about a drug, which at this point in this book could be a thing. So they're about to play their first Exy game since their teammate died, and that the girlfriend is playing in this game. So part of me is like, maybe she'll like Hulk mode. She'll just be like, I destroy. I don't know. I have faith in her. Look, this is not a reading update. I blow dried my hair and changed my sweatshirt because the other one had food on it. She's almost a 30-year-old lady. She's perfect. She's together. We're here with some updated thoughts. By we, I do mean me and the cat, which I'm sure he was like literally in the last clip, but he loves me. This is just like the vlog of me wearing like a different sweatshirt in every clip, but it is what it is. So I'm like halfway through Raven King right now. So I don't know who like the love interest is. I know this is gay. I know he ends up with one of them because I've seen like fan art of them kissing in jerseys. So it has to be one of the players or whatever. So right now in my brain, there's like 2 possibilities, and it's like, it's either Kevin or it's Andrew. Part of me wants it to be Andrew because Andrew is like a chaos demon, crazy dude, and I just feel like that would be a lot of fun. I don't know, like I can't tell because I feel like if this was a regular like gay sports romance, it would be Kevin. And so I feel like that's why I think it's Kevin, because he hasn't particularly had like a romantic scene with anybody. He wanted to say hello. This is what we're doing. Okay, he's going back down. Where are you going? Okay, bud, let me move this. There you go. Go ahead. Live your truth. Cat life. And also, they just keep bringing up the fact that this coach only like picks up people who have like messed up pasts, and a girl who like is on the team and she wants to become a coach when this coach retires and like carry on the tradition of like finding people with effed up pasts. Like I don't, like it's like so deeply silly. Like if I think about it too hard, I'm like like it's funny. We just keep getting deeper into the gang mafia yakuza stuff, and while they're all just playing this sport, I just feel like if I had to explain these books to anyone, I would sound insane. I'd be like, don't worry. As I was reading about Neil, I was like, Neil is baby girl. Like, Neil is such a baby girl. Like, I can't explain it more than he's just baby girl. I think I realized why I wasn't connecting as much in the first book. And I do think it is because this is written in like 3rd person. So I think even though it's like 3rd person omniscience, you kind of like get to see inside the character's head. You just, I don't know, I just like don't feel like super connected to anybody, but I feel like now that we're like 2 books in, it's definitely like better. I like care about Neil and Neil's baby girl feelings. I actually literally just came back because I read like 10 more pages, and Neil asks this girl and is like, oh, it's Renee. I don't know why I said this girl. He asks Renee, who's another girl on the team, who's like the girl who's super into Jesus. And he asks her, oh, are you and Andrew together? So is it Andrew? Is it Andrew? And then when she's like, no, me and Andrew aren't together. We just have similar pasts because they're both the way they are because of how this is. Then he asks if Andrew and Kevin are together. I don't know. I think in my perfect world, like maybe he'd end up with both of them, you know? Because I just see it.
Like, you know, they're always hanging out, doing extra practices. I'm like, this is the polyamorous couple I'm rooting for. This is the throuple.
Kevin has a girlfriend? No. I'm in the middle of putting on makeup, so please excuse that my eyebrows are very intense right now. I was thinking about it. This book makes a lot more sense when you think about how they're 19, and I've never met a 19-year-old that didn't take themselves seriously while being the most dramatic they've ever been in their entire lives. I was also crazy at 19, so Kevin has a girlfriend and Andrew's going to like a mental institution. When's they're gonna be kissing? I'm almost to the end of book 2. No one's kissed. I need these boys to kiss. I'm like, is it Andrew? Andrew's gone. Is it the brother? Is it Aaron? Who's Neil supposed to love? Everyone's like, no, duh, Jana. It's like, it's Matt. I don't know. I'd settle for him kissing Matt. And Danny, to be honest. Danny's pretty hot. Oh my God. Okay, before we talk about books, we have to talk about my t-shirt, which says, there is no trash cannot, there is only trash can. I just love it. I finished book 2. Like, I don't think I updated last night, but I did finish book 2 last night. Things are happening. Somehow Neil went to their rival team, like, I don't know, like synonymous with the Yakuza for some reason. And so he got like a number tattooed on his face by them, because like that's the way it says that like you're supposed to be theirs. So he got a number 4 on his face because Kevin has a number 3 on his face. So now they're just boys with facial tattoos. So that would be how it would go. So we've started this one. Andrew is back, and I definitely think the romance is going to be between Neil and Andrew now, because there's a lot of like people like heavily hinting to it or being like, don't let this mess up the team. And Neil's like, what do you mean? And obviously they mean whatever's gonna happen between you and Andrew, because Andrew's like the crazy guy. Like he's like constantly on drugs or alcohol or like doing wild things, and he reacts kind of like an animal in fight or flight. So I'm only about like 1/3 of the way through it. I'm hoping to finish it today. I am loving my little trauma boys. They are very intense, and I want them to be happy because there's just so much drama going on, really up in the ante of like the things that are going on. And of course there's like the Yakuza stuff. So I don't really know like how this ends, because it just seems like there's so much still going on that I could see like this being like a 6-book series. And like I said, I'm like 1/3 through the 3rd book. No one's kissed. No kissing. I'm like, someone kiss, please. Feed me. I've been good. I've been patiently reading my little book, waiting for some little kisses. I really like the tension between Neil and Andrew right now. They like built up, making me like very anxiously anticipate them being together in some way. I don't know how that works, because like I said, like Andrew's like a wounded animal in fight or flight. So I don't know how that goes well, but I'll keep reading and find out, I guess. They kissed. Beautiful. I'm loving it. They kissed in a way only traumatic baby boys could have. Oh my God. I had to pause for a little bit because I was just like a little overwhelmed. I'm probably gonna finish today. We're like on track to finish. I really see why everyone likes it. It's definitely like found family, kind of overly dramatic, like almost soap opera-y, but like like a fun way, not in like a like this is bad or like cheesy. You like root for them. You're like, what troubled little guys? And some of the setup is like a little silly, and like sure, they're like fighting so that they can like face the other team in the final match, like the team that's like basically the Yakuza. Even just saying that, wild insanity.
Good morning. I have no idea if you can hear, but it sounds like my neighbor's like listening to a marching band. What was that? I finished yesterday, and I'll be honest, like I was being a little emo about it. I didn't want to film a clip because I was just like, no, I'm bummed out that like I finished. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you how I felt about it, I was just like sad that it was over. I do see that there's potentially going to be another book, but it's gonna, okay. Keep going, sir. Sorry, the baby needed to be held. He's purring so loud. I don't know if you can hear that. We'll just keep going. The show must go on. But yeah, I feel like by the end of it, I was just like, they are just like a found family of little trauma boys and some girls. Yeah, the slow burn romance was really good. Like, I definitely feel like the tension was there. Definitely, obviously, in the first two books, I didn't notice any tension. In the third book, I was like, okay, this is definitely who it is. I think it's because Kevin seemed like such the stereotypical, like, that was obviously stereotypical choice. Oh my God, can you not have attention for 2 seconds? He said no. I can't not have attention for 2 seconds. Yeah, I finished, and I feel like I just like don't have much to say because I've kind of just been a little bummed out about it. That it's over, not bummed out that I read it. So yeah, so I feel like I'm like ending this video feeling like kind of down. Like where I should be feeling like kind of excited, but or like happy, but I'm just like sad that it's over. So yeah, so I really liked it. I feel like it took me a little bit to get there because the first book I wasn't fully invested, but by the second one I feel like I was all there and they had me. I feel like, why am I doing that? Okay, so yeah, we did it, team. I'm happy that I finally read them. But thank you for coming with me on this journey and listening to all my crazy thoughts as I went through and had, you know, a little bit of a spiral, you know, just spiral down. It's all good. I'm gonna go make some coffee. Thanks for watching.